Alright guys, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you guys or explain to you guys what I think the best way to manifest anything is, like how to look at manifesting. And this is how I've broken it down to make it as realistic, I want to use that word, as realistic as possible, because some people think manifestation is like magic, where you hear people say think about what you want and then you get it or something. But that sounds like magic, and in actuality, manifestation is nothing like that. It's not just think about what you want and then it's going to be given to you, because I can guarantee everyone or everyone who has that level of thinking to be able to think for themselves, I'm sure everyone who has that ability wishes for something that they don't have in that current moment. So why aren't they getting that thing? Why isn't it just magically appearing before them? Because that's not how manifestation works. So let's get into what or how I believe manifestation works, or the simplest way I think you can look at it. Right. So for me, I use a triangle system or a 3-point system, and it's AFA. And this is an abbreviation to it stands for assume, feel, and act. So you've heard of become what you think about. That's the same as assumption. So a lot of people think, like I said, anyone who has the ability to think for themselves think of what they want. Everyone wishes they had this, they had that, their life was this, or they had this going on in their life, so on and so forth. So everyone thinks. So when it comes to when it comes to the assumption part, I don't think anyone has a problem with that. The next two steps are the very important ones. So first you assume, think of what you want. Let's give an example. Let's say you want to be in a better body. You want to improve your physical appearance and your health. Okay, so you have that image of what you want to look like, and this isn't like cartoon kind of muscles where like have muscles popping out everywhere. No, you just want to be fit, right? Because that's what we're talking about, realistic stuff. No one is going to look like Hulk from the cartoons and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, so let's say you are overweight and you realize, I want to lose the weight. I imagine, I can see myself in my mind's eye. I can see the weight of me. I can see me being leaner, having a little bit more muscle, some muscle definition, all that kind of stuff. So now you've done the assumption part or the thinking part. The next step is to feel. Now, what do I mean when I say feel? What emotion does having that appearance, that body you want, or whatever thing you want, I'm just using the body as an example, what feeling does that give you? It gives you joy. It gives you more confidence. You feel more confident, right? Because if you're walking around with a physique that you are happy with, it boosts your self-esteem, it boosts your confidence. When you're overweight, always like sucking in your belly because you don't want people to see your belly, always wearing shirts, oversized shirts. Maybe if you're someone who likes wearing oversized shirts, that's cool, but this is an example I'm giving. You are someone who likes to have fitted shirts, right? But because of your weight issue, you realize you can wear these clothes because it shows all your belly and all the fat and everything. And this is something that lowers your confidence. So now you've imagined the body you want. You imagined, damn, I can see myself being 50 pounds lighter in my head. I can see all this fat off me. I can see myself with a little bit of muscle, the flat tummy. I can see myself wearing these shirts. I can see myself going to the beach and taking my shirt off and being confident. So that's the emotion. Feel the emotion that thing would give you if you had it. So in this case, if you had a good physique that you liked, it would give you confidence, like I said. So feel confident. Even though you're not confident right now, you have to feel the emotion that will give you. It will bring you joy, it will bring you confidence. Then the next step is to act. This is where a lot of people don't follow through. This is where a lot of people just stop and say, oh, manifestation is bullcrap. Manifestation is just a lie to sell people and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking from personal experience. I'm living proof. And when I say manifestation isn't magic, it really isn't. If you don't act, nothing is gonna happen. The universe isn't just gonna magically come to your doorstep and say, "Hey, okay, he assumed the body he wanted, and he felt the emotion. So let's just let him go to sleep. One night, we just shred off all the fat. So now you have to act." And some will say, "Well, what if I don't know what to do?" Right? Now, we live in a generation where there's information everywhere. On the internet, you can do research and all that kind of stuff, right? And now ask yourself, before you do all that kind of stuff, ask yourself this one question. Now, this is where manifestation gets fun. What would that version of you that you see in your mind's eye, that has a body that you like and you're proud of, what would the habits of that person in your mind be? Would it still be eating all the junk food that you keep eating now? Obviously not. Would that version of you, that person who has a fit body, be in your mind's eye, be doing his cardio or her cardio? Yes. And cardio doesn't have to be sprinting, or it could be anything that, just going for getting your 10,000 steps a day and going for walks, whatever cardio that you enjoy. But that version that you see in your mind's eye, these are habits that version will have to do to attain that. So now that you've assumed, you felt, now, and you ask yourself those questions about what would that version of me be doing, it's time to now start doing those things that version will be doing. And that's the only way you shift your reality into that version of yourself that you want. So I always tell people, there's infinite realities of ourselves. There's infinite realities. There's a reality where I am homeless. There's a universe somewhere where me, Jeffrey. There's a universe where I am a doctor. There's a universe where I am, well, I work in McDonald's. There's a universe where I'm a truck driver. There's a universe where I live in a different country. There's a universe where I am doing this. Anything you can think about is a reality somewhere. So that means there's infinite possibilities of what our lives could look like. There's infinite versions of ourselves in living in different earths, in different universes. All right. So now, when you think about it like that, if you want to share, and there's a version of me that's a millionaire, right? There's a version of me living in another universe on Earth, another universe who's a millionaire, right? So we become what we think about. That's what Elle Nightingale said. Elle Nightingale said, "We become what we think about all day long," right? That was Elle Nightingale's quote. So how do we shift into the reality that we want? Is by using the 3-point system that I said. You think, like Elle Nightingale said, assume, think, right? So I want to be a millionaire. Jeffrey wants to be a millionaire. Now, I can see myself, my mind's eye being a millionaire, driving the cars that I want, living in the house that I want, doing the things that I want to do, traveling where I want to go. And I feel the emotions that gives me. It gives me joy, it gives me fulfillment, it gives me a sense of security. Gives you more confidence, because who doesn't get more confident with more money, right? So what do I have to do? I have to start feeling those emotions right now. And when I ask myself, what is that version of me doing to become, to be a millionaire, or to become, or to stay a millionaire? Studying, always making sure he's getting information, not doom scrolling most of the time in bed, taking care of his mental, being responsible, being disciplined. Because if you want to be someone with a lot of wealth, you have to be disciplined in every aspect of your life. His yes has to be his yes, his no has to be his no. So you have to be a man of your word. You have to be. So this is my example that I'm giving, if that's what I want to be. So now after I ask myself that question, now ask myself again, am I doing those things right now? If the answer is no, then I haven't shifted into that reality. When we start doing those things spiritually, it doesn't happen in the physical. So we to us, we don't see anything, right? But spiritually, we shift our realities. It's like we morph into that universe that I was talking about, where I am a millionaire, and now I start acting like that person, and then my habitual nature starts to change, right, into that person who becomes a millionaire. So I keep doing it, I keep doing it, I keep doing it, and then eventually, of course, there'll be setbacks and all that kind of stuff. But this is where you have to be positive and know that everything is working out in your favor. Once you understand the law of attraction and manifestation, everything works in your favor. It's not going to happen on your time or on your terms, right? Say you wanted to be a millionaire in 5 years. Maybe the universe's plan isn't for you to be a millionaire in 5 years. Maybe it's supposed to happen in 10 years, right? So this course doesn't happen in 5 years doesn't mean you failed or manifestation didn't work. I always give an example. If someone, let's say you were rushing to work, you're supposed to get to work, right? You have an hour drive to work. You're supposed to get to work at 9 a.m. and you left work at like no, you left home to get to drive to work like 7:57. Right. So now you have 1 hour, so you probably get to work at 8:57, 3 minutes before 9. And you know how strict you don't want to be late, your job is all about punctuality and all that kind of stuff. So you're rushing, scrambling to get into your car, and then upon leaving you realized you left your laptop or something that you need at work. But you didn't notice till like 10 minutes when you were on the road, or 5 minutes when you're on the road. Let's use 5 minutes when you're on the road. And when you remembered, you were so pissed. Now you have to drive back, get your stuff wherever you're supposed to get, and then drive back to work. That means you lost some time. You're gonna get to work just a little bit late. You're so angry. This is what I always tell people. In every situation, you know how the Bible says, and the Bible is a very good book when you know how to, when you don't take it literal. The Bible has hidden messages on how to live a spiritual life too. Yeah. When the Bible says in all things give thanks, this is what a scenario like this is what I'm talking about. Obviously, you have emotions. I'm not saying never get angry. You might be frustrated in the moment, but don't stay in there. A lot of people will stay there the whole day and they'll be ruined. Like the whole mood will be down because they were late, blah blah blah. But in the moment, you could be frustrated, right? Because I also get frustrated. We're all human beings. But don't stay in there. Or you should get home, get your stuff, take a deep breath, get back on the road, and look at it from the bright side. There's never a black without a white. There's never a good without a bad. In every situation, there's some positive, even if you cannot see the positive in the moment. Maybe down the line, in some years or months, you'd be like, "Oh shit, I bet." Sorry for my language. You'd be like, "Oh crap." That's why that happened. So, let's say for this scenario, you left your stuff. You got your stuff and you were leaving. You were pissed. Why don't you, instead of being angry the whole day, why don't you look at it from the perspective of maybe the universe was just protecting me from something, right? Because let's say now you after you got your stuff, you were driving and you realize as you got closer, there was an accident that happened not long ago before you went back home. So maybe the universe was protecting you from, maybe that was supposed to be you, right? And the universe made you leave that stuff on purpose so that you have to come get it. You have to come back and get it. So it prevents you from being in that accident. All right. So there's a positive in every situation. You'd be like, so upon driving next to the scene, you'd be like, damn, that could have been me, It's a good thing I left my laptop at home. Yeah, you were late. Your boss is gonna give you, some talking to and all that kind of stuff a little bit. But would you rather be in the hospital or would you rather be having a talk with your boss? So these are the little things that I'm saying. Like in all things, give thanks. Like just be grateful. In the moment, you can be upset. You don't know why it happened. And when you're always grateful, you're always positive. You shift your energy into a vibration where it attracts positive things. When you're always in a moody, dark, negative mood, your energy is negative, so it's just going to attract more negative things. Right? That's why some people can say, well, I've been thinking, I'm trying to manifest, I'm thinking, and I'm feeling I'm doing the actions, but nothing is happening. Like life keeps getting worse. And then you sit down with them and then take some time to get to know them, and you realize they're always in a bad mood, or they're always complaining, they're always they say I'm thinking and all that kind of stuff, but then they go about their day not acting like the person they're supposed to act. The person you want to be is confident, positive, and all that kind of stuff. If so, even though yeah, you are putting in the work, you're always complaining, always being negative. Everything bothers you. Like, you know, what do you think is going to happen? You're creating an interference, and you're only going to keep attracting negative things. So being positive is very, very important when it comes to manifesting what you want. Because manifestation, we all manifest. We've all been manifesting our whole lives. Manifestation is a law. It happens whether you're conscious of it or whether you're not conscious of it. So be very careful the things you think about, the words you speak to yourself, and how you feel throughout most of the day. And some days like you might feel down, you might feel moody. I'm not saying every day be that happy guy who's just jumping around like no, no, no. Just cause I'm quiet, and maybe today I'm more quiet than usual, doesn't mean I'm sad. I just I just want to be in my space, and that doesn't mean I'm in a negative mood. I'm not going around complaining, cussing people out. No, I'm just giving myself some space because I know I'm that type of person. My my moods go up and down. Like today I'm singing and dancing, then the next day I'm like straight face at work or wherever, like in the gym, whatever I'm doing. That doesn't mean if someone walks up to me, I'll be like, yo, like I'll be angry. No, no. If you walk out, I'll just start having a normal conversation with you. But just that day, I'm just not smiling. Doesn't mean I'm not happy, or doesn't mean I'm in a negative mood. So I'm not saying don't feel. Yeah, feel your emotions, but then don't stay in the negative ones. Do if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling down, go for a walk. Do things that will try and lift your energy a little bit. You know. So, anyways, I know I've yapped for 20 minutes, 20 something minutes. I'm not really good at these video things, but hopefully you guys understood what I was trying to say, or what was the message I was trying to convey, and I hope you guys learned something. And if I'm not saying I'm like some manifestation guru, so if anyone has anything to add, I would like to see in the comments, because I'm still learning. I still watch videos. I still look for more material about this spiritual stuff to learn, because I know there's so much that we don't know, like as humans. When it comes to this spiritual stuff, there's so much that is still left to be uncovered. So I'm always open to learn, and I'm always open-minded to hear people's opinions as well. Because so if you have any opinion, if you have any story about manifestation, like a testimony, right, that could help inspire other people who might watch this video and read the comments to go on their manifestation journey, you can leave your story in the comments. I have a story or two, but I'll leave that for another video, else this video will be like an hour long. So if you guys want to hear my story, which I think was an incredible story, but is not even was is it's still an incredible story, and it's still going. I'm still going. I'm so grateful for where I am in life right now. Like when I tell you guys the story, I think it will inspire a lot of people. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. That helps get the video out to more people. And I'm trying to see if I can make this channel not just about manifestation, but just about my life and everything. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. I don't know what video I'm going to make next, but whatever I decide, I'll see you guys there. Take care. Bye bye.